Hello everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess. Today is Thursday the 5th of December. That means there's 20 days till Christmas Day. Oh boy, not quite ready. I'm not. The bushfires still rage here in Australia. They're still having lots of problems, so it's very smoky around where we are still. Just a reminder that I'm going live on Facebook this Sunday, and I'll put the tape of my television up as soon as I get hold of it to put through on the page. So if you're interested in watching Moonstruck television, you'll know how to get to it. All right, let's get straight into your reading this morning. Oh, I should really say a big thank you to all the people buying readings from me. I've been absolutely inundated this week, so it's been extremely busy. So thank you. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I really do appreciate having you around, and I love your comments. I read them all the time. Some make me laugh, some make me feel a little sad, but they're really cool. So thank you for connecting with me. We do have the Fool coming out here. This is really nice because the Fool talks about a brand new start. It's about taking a leap of faith, taking a leap into the unknown, and moving forward on something. So you may not have all the information when you take a leap of faith. It's just one of those things where, you know, you just do it. Someone rings you and says, you want to go on holidays, and you just go. Like, you don't think about it. You just jump in. Sometimes it can be a foolish decision, but it's about taking a risk, I guess. We have the Two of Pentacles here. That's funny, isn't it? It's talking about taking a risk and then talking about, weighing up a decision on what to do here. So you may have been thinking or preempting, what would you do in this situation? What will you do if this happens? What will be your choice? How will you go about this? Because you're taking this choice of taking this leap then. So it's quite interesting. It looks as though it's got to do with someone who could be a fire sign. Now, although they represent Leo Sagittarius, it's more likely it's the energy they're putting out. The Prince of Wands is a person who isn't always good at, you could be dealing with a player, a person who isn't always good at making a commitment. So this particular energy can be a quick in and out energy, but this could be you. If you're taking this leap of faith and you're sort of making a decision to go in a direction by weighing up what you've got and what you haven't, or what you've got to lose and what you haven't, it could be that you're just going forward with a lot of passion and a lot of drive in this. So you could be putting in that energy. See, I said to you, it looks like my cards, so some of my cards sort of flip upside down every now and again. So I've got the Prince of Cups here, and he's in the reverse. So this is somebody holding back on an offer. They're not ready to make an offer here. So it's sort of maybe a feeling of, what are you going to do in the meantime? Maybe if you're waiting on something here and it hasn't quite come to a stage where it's being presented yet, then there's a possibility here you could be weighing up whether you wait for something or whether you move on here. That's what it is here. So it's sort of like you want to take this leap of faith, but I think if someone's not making an offer, whether that's a job, whether it's a romance, what sort of situation it is that nobody's making this offer at this time, it looks like you're just raging ahead. You're making the decision to rage ahead and take a leap of faith yourself without really worrying. So it could be that some of you have been waiting on, a particular job, it hasn't come through. So then you're like, well, I'm not going to wait around until they offer it. I'll just go look for another job. Or it could be you've been waiting for someone to come in and make an offer to you, and they seem to be very slow at doing that. So it's like, well, I'm just going to go off and live my life, basically. Okay, so we have the Nine of Wands coming out. So the Nine of Wands is the card of the Wounded Warrior. This is a card about sort of living your life sometimes with too many restrictions, but it's also about boundaries. It's also about understanding, having boundaries. So maybe here the lesson is you shouldn't be waiting around for something. You should have more self-respect. Waiting for something to come to you is not really showing your own value. So maybe this is the time where you're starting to understand your own personal boundaries and standing up for yourself. Beautiful. We have Temperance here. So you found this beautiful sense of balance now. You don't really feel that you need to wait for something to come to you. You're happy to just go about your business and do what you need to do. You can't sit around the house waiting for something to happen. Yeah, this is stability here, which is absolutely beautiful. So the stability you're feeling now is because you're more in touch with yourself, more in touch with what you want. So whatever you've been waiting on that hasn't come through, it's like, well, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm okay with that. I'm just going to move on with my life and do what I need to do. So there's a lot of self-respect in this reading, a lot of understanding. Three of Cups coming through here. So the Three of Cups talks about reunion and celebration. I think that here you're just sort of thinking, well, you know, if it comes to pass and that's okay, I can celebrate that. But if it doesn't, that's okay too. So you're sort of at this really nice place where you're not emotionally charged about this situation. It's like this beautiful acceptance of if it's meant for me, it'll come for me. Okay, so you could be dealing with a fire sign because we have the King of Wands coming in here. The King of Wands can represent Leo, Sag or Aries, but it can also represent a person who, very often for me, is someone who owns their own business or is a leader or a manager, you know, a person in a position of prominence. This person's very attractive, very forthright, direct. They're also very passionate. And there's a choice here of which way to go. Two of Wands shows options. Ooh. And it looks like you're taking the option to go, whatever this is. Okay, Five of Swords. It's like you're walking away. You don't want to walk away from something, but you're making the choice to do that. Okay, and let go of everything else. Alrighty, now I've got the real feel. Okay, and we have the High Priestess. Okay, which is about your feelings. So what we have here. So have someone here taking a leap of faith here, deciding to jump off and just go, not waiting around anymore, maybe thinking about it, maybe even thinking about it for a while, but haven't been sure what direction to move in. I feel like you're approaching this with a lot of passion and determination because someone's not making the offer that you thought they would. It looks like a cycle hasn't closed out as it should have done. For some of you, as I said, this is to do with work. Maybe you've been waiting on a job offer in particular to come through, or maybe you just haven't received, you haven't got what you've set out to get, whatever it is. But the thing is here, what you've realised is in the waiting, in the journey, in the whole experience, you've understood that you don't have to invest everything in this waiting, getting frantic, emotions going everywhere, you know, getting upset about it. There's this realization here for many of you that you've realized if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it doesn't happen, that's fine. You can move on. There's no grief here. There's no anger here. It's like, this is how it is here. I feel like you're walking away from something that perhaps you were waiting a long while on because you're in a different place now. You've come to this beautiful place of self-acceptance and self-love, and you realize now that you have the value you need. It's like you're not going to wait around for people if they don't want to be with you, if they don't want to offer you a job, if they don't want to do what they were supposed to do, whatever it is, that's okay. You can celebrate your own wins and move forward. For some of you here, this was about waiting for a person to come in, and there feels to me like you're letting go of everything that's happened, letting go of the past, you've given up waiting, and you're moving forward. And this is about you understanding that even though the moving forward is sort of like a bit of a lack of victory, that's okay. You can do that. You're just letting go of it. Your intuition is telling you how to do this now. So for a lot of you, you've gone from the human thinking or the 3D thinking into your 5D thinking. You've gone into this time where you're realizing that you can't make something happen. You can't control it. You can't push something to occur when it's not ready, not ripe, not the time. And this sort of thing is just not happening the way you thought it was. So, but I suppose the most important aspect here is that you are listening to your intuition. rather than driving this force with your emotion and your hurt and your pain. And you've just accepted, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And you've just decided now to take this leap of faith and move in a different direction. Very nice reading. There's sort of a beautiful peace and resolution here, though. It's not like you're sort of angry about giving up. It's not like you're upset anymore. It's just like this, there's this realization now. If it's yours, it will come to you, and you know that the universe will bring it if it's yours. Okay, so the card that's come out for you is the Tribe. I can't remember the meaning of this card, so I'm going to have a look again. Okay, so it's about community, belonging, being seen and understood by others, like-minded connections, a sense of family and friendship, knowing your place in the world. This card signals a new affiliation with a group. Humans are social creatures, and we need to know we are useful to our tribes, families and communities. In a tribe, everyone has an important function and feels I matter. Membership in the group provides a sense of belonging, of kinship and purpose that comes from working together for the greatest fulfillment of all. Perhaps you are part of a spiritual community or an artistic one. Perhaps you are a learning community where you share your love of education. Regardless of its form or focus, your community brings you joy. You will be inspired by it and want to contribute to it. Your contribution may be small, as showing up as large, as becoming its leader. No matter your position in your tribe, your presence is needed. It's sort of like you're getting back into the world, I guess. Maybe that's what they're saying. It's like you've no longer cut off from things. You're deciding to take action and sort of get more into your own energy. But I love that the High Priestess came out here, because it's like you're understanding your own intuition here. You don't need to put pressure on yourself or others to achieve something. It's like you're just going to let it be. It's about just allowing, letting go of pain, letting go of pressure, just allowing the universe to bring you what you need. Very nice place to be. Have a wonderful day.